and they're on a roll. It's another first down. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
Our game not even 2 minutes old, but a quick red zone opportunity. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 15. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12.
For the running back.
These are his numbers from last week's contest. 18 carries, 71 yards.
They've won 2 straight games, and they've done it with the running game as the focal point of their offense. So in this contest, I don't think about doing anything else. I continue to ride the hot hand that I've established and lead with the runners.
This is caught. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. CeeDee Lamb, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Cowboys have taken the early lead. Looking sharp on that first drive. These guys, of course, coming off back-to-back victories, and you see that kind of advancing into this game, don't you?
You certainly do, and when you have a team that doesn't get too full of itself, even though they've won 2 games in a row, you get the end result that we saw there, that nice opening drive, because they're sharp, they're focused, and they're locked into everything that they're doing.
And this is up and good to make it 7-0 Cowboys. That time a 6-play drive, and it culminates in a Dallas touchdown. Now after the touchdown, it's Zuerlein. He'll kick it away. Takes it at the 7. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. So here are the Jags now set to get their first drive. And we get a glance here at their leader, the man who will be calling the plays under center.
He had the numbers of a game last week that if you win, you talk about him being a gritty guy, managing the game, getting it done. But they lost. So obviously 2 interceptions, 1 touchdown pass, that's not going to be good enough. Got to get that changed around.
Now a first carry here for Robinson. And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30.
Ball carrier.
In a word, I would say productive, finding the end zone 3 different times.
Is it possible that you're really underselling it? 3 touchdowns, just going to call him productive?
What do you want?
This guy had a nose for the end zone.
He was good.
Had a snootful, didn't he? How about that? Big-time game.
Here's 2nd and 8. Sets up the screen to Robinson. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
I like the screen being called here early in the game, especially on the opening drive, because, Brandon, when guys come out of the locker room, especially those pass rushers, they are so amped up to get to the quarterback that you can use that against them, and a screen pass is a great way of doing it. A lot of teams against good pass rushing teams, they want to run the screen 10 to 12 times in a game.
A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early, because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
On 2nd down, it's Robinson. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. A couple of nice carries back-to-back here, establishing the ground game a bit.
Yeah, these aren't bare-bones runs now. I mean, they're getting substantial yardage, the kind of yards you're looking for, right? Let's go ahead and use a cliche. Stay ahead of the change, right? 5 or more yards each time, that's what you're looking for in setting a tone and getting your offensive line going.
Good sign on the opening drive.
Down at the 48-yard line. 1 yard gain brings up 2nd and 9.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. He'll fight his man, Laviska Shenault. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. 27 yards there, a first down.
1st and 10 at the 21-yard line.
They'll run it now with Robinson. He'll have a first down inside the 10. And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. James Robinson with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Jaguars are within an extra point of tying this one up.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run, and one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
It's up and good. So these teams match touchdowns here in the first quarter, and we're tied 7-7. So this drive spans 7 plays. And the finishing touch was that nice long run into the end zone. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. Taken about 7 yards deep. And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return. Second drive forthcoming here for the Dallas Cowboys. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
First down, Prescott. Caught by the tight end, Ertz. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. That catch good for only a couple.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. The first carry now for Tony Pollard. Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30.
Joe Schobert on the tackle. A 3-yard gain on the play. Brings up
Prescott from the gun on 3rd. Cooper's got it. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. Excellent play there on 3rd down. Give him 25 yards.
I know this may be jumping the gun a little bit, but 7-7, they're flinging it around like crazy. Look at the drive that's going on here. Partner, we may have to start thinking about one of these defenses just holding someone to a field goal and maybe trying to get an advantage that way.
So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Prescott to throw it. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
A quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers putting their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
Counting down toward the midway point in quarter 1. On 2nd and 11 now. Prescott, he'll get this into the hands of Deon Cain. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36.
10 yards. And it's 3rd down.
On 3rd and 1, here's Prescott. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down.
Well, they certainly did a nice job there, picking him up out of the backfield and then running stride for stride with him. That's good coverage, and it led to an incompletion.
Makes the score Cowboys 10, Jaguars 7.
So a good kick there to polish off the drive with 3 points.
Yeah, coaches always talk about finishing a drive with a kick. 2 of them give you points, either an extra point or, in this case, a field goal.
And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24.
At their own 24-yard line.
And the Jacksonville offense on their way out again as we take a look at the playoff race in the AFC. And for them, it's no longer a question of will they make the playoffs. They've clinched the division title. The question, can they hold on to that #1 seed?
And this is where the mental fortitude comes to play, doesn't it? Because now you're not just the coach talking about it, it's team talking about it to each other. supporting each other, carrying each other along, because having that #1 seed means everything in the NFL.
It does. So even though the division title's clinched, shouldn't take the foot off the gas.
No, not at all. Play it all the way through, and I think we've seen that in recent years in the NFL. The teams that play and play to win each and every game, they're the ones to deal with in the playoffs.
Yeah, the Cowboys here on 3rd down, bringing in an extra defensive back.
A gain of 2 brings up.
They run. Robinson. And he's going to have the first down yardage to the 35. A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough.
I haven't met a football team yet that runs the ball successfully that doesn't talk about having an attitude to be a running football team, right? You got to be able to put your nose in there, smell where the first down sticks are, and get there.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Middle of the field, it's Robinson. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
A gain of 9 brings up 2nd and 1 at the 44-yard line.
On 2nd down now, it's Robinson, and he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. A couple of first downs to kick off the drive. Here's 1st and 10 up at the 46. He'll look to throw. He'll get 3 up to midfield.
James Robinson.
They'll break the huddle and come out with 4 receivers, 3 of them to the right side. 2nd and 7.
It's a pickup of 3. Brings up 2nd.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. This pass complete to Higgins.
The pass.
7th play of the drive now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. That time they hit him out of the slot on the drag.
And that route takes some fortitude from the guy running it, because he knows he's going through the briar patch, as I like to call it, right? He's trying to work his way through all that traffic, and people wanting to put a little contact on it. Really well done.
1st and 10 at the 40-yard line.
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. And this is caught at the 8. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. DJ Chark, his 9th touchdown of the season. And once again, the Jaguars are back out in front. And there they got him the ball. Just get it to him, let him do the rest.
You know, he probably said that to his quarterback as he broke the huddle. I like the play call. Just get it to me. I'll take care of the rest of it.
Helping out his rack, right? RAC.
Run after catch, and he loves that, and he's going to carry that in at contract time.
And that makes it 14-10. So a nice drive put together there. They go 75 yards in 9 plays. And it culminates in a Jags touchdown. The touchdown, he'll kick this one away. And this carries into the end zone. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback.
At their own 25.
Here's the Dallas offense now, heading back out onto the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down. What makes a draw play like that successful?
Well, we did see where he made the first wave miss, and that was a big part of it, but a lot of it is just being actors back there, making the defense think it's going to be a pass.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They'll try the left side. Flowers. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Well, that was not what you would call straight line pursuit for a middle linebacker to make this play. He's got to work his way through the clutter to get to the ball carrier on the outside, and he does exactly that. That's called avoiding the trash.
2nd and 11. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. They'll drop this underneath to Pollard. It's a gain of 5, and that'll bring up a third down.
5 yards on the play, and it's third down.
Out of the gun, here's Prescott. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete.
Well, they came up with points in their first 2 possessions, but it looks like they'll come up empty here on their 3rd drive. The defense finally starting to get locked into them a little bit. Might have to go a little bit deeper into their playbook on their next possession.
And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. Jacksonville back on offense and ready to take over. Now, they were good last time out with a touchdown drive. This go-around, it's not going to be very easy starting from inside their own 5.
But they shouldn't be daunted by it. You work on this the entire offseason. You work on it in practice. It's called coming out session. Start the ball inside the 5, start on the 5, on the 10. They should be ready to go.
They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
That's exactly what you're looking for at the inside linebacker spot. Versatility. He can drop into coverage, or as he did on that last play, use his speed to get to the perimeter and knock the ball carrier for a loss.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. On the run, it's Robinson. And he will take this up to about the 8-yard line. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
Brought him down.
They'll set up to throw. Caught out left side by Robinson. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. An entertaining start to this one. More to come on EA Sports.
14, Cowboys 10.
To punt it away on 4th down, here's Drew Kaiser. It'll go as a 50-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Getting set to go again, we get a look at Amari Cooper as he heads back out there now. He's been good so far to this point in the 2nd quarter. Need to get him even more involved, maybe?
I would agree with that. Definitely. Yeah, it's not even a question for me. The way he's playing, he's doing a nice job. Increase things. More touches, more opportunities. Maybe that can reverse things on the scoreboard for them.
They'll try to ratchet things up then maybe here in the 2nd quarter.
Brings up 2nd and 7.
From the 41, Prescott. This one caught left side by Cooper. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. He's exceeded his receiving yards from a week ago, and we're still in the first half. It's a 1st down. Tackled that time by Sidney Jones. The 1st down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
A gain of 5 brings up 2nd and 5.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. 15 yards on the play, 1st down.
Well, if they continue to run the football this strong, right up the middle, I don't know if they can wait till halftime to make adjustments. They better find a way to get it done series to series. I don't know if they need to sub some guys out, bring in extra people, maybe change what they're doing on the defensive side of the ball. But right now, they're running the ball very well right at them and right up the middle.
Two minutes gone by, 2nd quarter. A 1st down throw for Prescott. Able to hit his target, Lamb. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. 11 more yards that go around, a 1st down as well.
1st down.
That looked like a pretty good route combination there because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag, because when you do, you just put the ball on him and then let him run.
Yeah, he's got some space. Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. From the red zone now, Prescott steps away to his left. He's going to take off with it. And he's down inside the 5 at the 4 before he's out of bounds. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a first down.
Obviously, a big play was needed. And you can see his eyes light up as he realized there's absolutely no one in front of him. And he takes off and goes a long way. Not only does he pick up a first down, but a big gain to boot.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal.
It's a gain of a yard. Brings up 2nd and goal.
On 2nd down, it's Flowers. And this time he is in.
Yes.
A great effort there, with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Cowboys have once again taken the lead. A solid blocking up front from the guys on the offensive line allowed him to get in for the touchdown.
Yeah, some might say that the guys on the offensive line were in concert. I used to have a coach who called it marrying up, meaning when you get on a guy, you just stay right there, and each guy has his own assignment. That allowed the runner to make the big move towards the end zone.
It's good, and they'll take a 17-14 lead. So that drive takes them down the field in 8 plays. And it ends with a 3-yard scoring run.
Greg Zuerlein.
Now after the touchdown, it's Zuerlein. He'll kick it away. Fielded in the end zone. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback.
10. At their own 25.
Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
It's now 2nd and 10 at the 25-yard line.
They'll try the left side. It's Robinson. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a pickup of 17 and a first down. All right, I got to ask you, with these RPOs, essentially the quarterback has 3 options, right? So what's different from that versus the triple option that we see the service academies run at the college level?
As a general rule, the triple option at the college level, most things are called outside of the quarterback faking it to the runner and then keeping it himself and maybe having a trail back. What I mean is, in the NFL, that option to throw the football all comes about organically. It's a natural deal based on reads. In college, if you're going to throw the football off a triple option, you've actually called that play.
Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
Partner, in our years together, we've never really run into a player that's admitted a doubt or a lack of confidence, right? But right now, I'm just wondering about that interior line because on defense, they're starting to get manhandled at the point of attack. Do they have it in them to figure a way to reverse the tide? Because right now, they're running the ball at will.
So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. And to give this time to the tailback. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
The ball carrier taken down at the 41. 4 yards on the pickup. 2nd and 6.
And this is what here? Incomplete, they say. It looked like it was intercepted, but he apparently did not get the 2 feet down inbounds.
6 yards to go.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And he's got his tight end, Oliver. Down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. 11 yards there for Jacksonville and a first down as well.
10 at the 29-yard line.
From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
It's a pickup of 6. Brings up 2nd and 4.
From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And able to get about 3 as he's taken down right at the 20.
He's brought down.
The Jaguars on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7.
Jaguars.
That's quite a spot there for his first carry of the game, but obviously they had plenty of faith in him, didn't they?
No question about it. And here, why not go with the fresh legs? Able to push forward, pick up that first. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
That was a touchdown if he could have hung on. Instead, it was a well-timed collision to jar that one free.
On 2nd down now, it's Robinson. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. James Robinson with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half, as his guys are able to regain the lead. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. I can get some more. And it'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
Point after by Lambo, up and good. And that will make this a 4-point game. And Lambo now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. From the 6. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
At their own 28-yard line.
Dak and the Cowboy offense heading back onto the field. Been a decent start for him here in this first half, but they're losing. And I think as the captain of the offense, you probably always feel like you need to do more in that situation.
The best have always felt that way, and they won't settle for anything less. So right now, his goal is to increase what he's doing on the field, try to make sure his teammates come along with him, and he feels like if I do better, everyone will do better. And that's what we're seeing from him right now. You've got to have a little extra determination.
Yeah, a little extra determination. He has thrown the touchdown pass. No interceptions for him personally to this point. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. Give him 14 on that one and a first down.
Like so many tight ends nowadays, they have no problem at all putting him in the slot and letting him go to work, and that's a nice pitch and catch right there for a first down.
Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
A gain of 2. Brings up 2nd and 8.
Prescott from the gun. And he'll hit the slant route. That's caught by Cooper. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 34-yard line. A good pick up there of 20 yards. So Amari Cooper out of Northwestern High School in Miami making a nice play there.
And it's so funny that when I was going through the draft process when he came out of Alabama and was inquiring about him and his skills, they say it all began back in Miami. He really became a pro receiver at a young age because of his attention to detail and precision. But don't forget his athletic ability. That's what made that catch there.
And this is caught inside the 5. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3.
At the 3-yard line.
That goes for a gain of 31. Now, we know this offense has the potential to strike quickly, and they just bit off 2 huge plays on back-to-back snaps.
So on the other side of the ball, you've got to go Band of Brothers thought process. No one left behind, no pointing fingers, no accusations, because if you don't, those quick strikes we just saw, they become long-lasting.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Cowboys. A great play there. with his second touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season, as they have taken the lead. These two teams in this first half, it's been fun. Back and forth, back and forth. Well, it's not fun for the defensive coordinators, but offensive coordinators are enjoying it.
Yeah, they're having streaks here, aren't they? Being able to put scores together and really bunch them up, and we have a tight game here. You know, we often talk about having the right shoes for the right turf. Today it's track shoes. That's what we've seen with these offenses.
Yeah, it's been an absolute track meet so far and fun to watch. Zuerlein connects on the extra point, and that gives them a 3-point lead.
Greg Zuerlein.
Now after the touchdown, it's Zuerlein. He'll kick it away. This will make it into the end zone, and he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. And he's made it easy for us to put together a highlight package, just wondering what he ate before this one started.
Let's include that in the package, right? Get the gourmet out here, figure it all out, and you guarantee he'll do that going forward as well, because with a game like this, you don't want to change things too much. Oh, yeah, you also want to continue to get that great blocking he's received today, too.
Yeah, kudos to the guys up front indeed. And this one into the hands of DJ Shark. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2.
Yards on the pickup. Brings up 2nd and 2 at the 33-yard line.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
Brings up 3rd down and 2.
They'll go to the air here on 3rd and 2. Able to complete this to Shenault. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Well, they only needed a small gain on 3rd down. They end up getting over 30 yards.
That was awfully nice. Hit him in stride, and off he went. It was almost like the ball hitting him was like him receiving a baton, and he was running the anchor leg in a relay race.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. They'll look to throw again. This one caught by his tight end, Oliver. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another 1st down.
Jaguars 1st down. 1st and 10 at the 18-yard line.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. That's complete right around the 8. And we'll get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. DJ Chark with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half, as his guys have now moved out in front. Now he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the 2nd quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
Lambo on for the extra point. And that will make this a 4-point game. That time, 75-yard drive, 5 plays. And it results in a touchdown for Jacksonville. And Lambo now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. From the 6. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Now whistles, and we've got a man down. A man down here following the kickoff. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. We have witnessed touchdowns on back-to-back drives. We'll see if the offense can continue this uptick here.
And I know you're looking at me funny. You're wondering when I'm going to get upset watching these guys go up and down field, aren't you?
I wasn't looking at you. I got something in my eye.
That's the excuse that you always use for something like that. Listen, I appreciate good offensive football as much as the next person. When it's played well and is skillful, I'm with it. And right now, this is exciting.
Oh, the defender likes it. A gain of 13. It's a first down.
First down, Dallas.
First down, Prescott. That's complete to his receiver, Kane. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. That one into the hands of Kane. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. Now we'll look at Smith. Not sure exactly what happened, but he's still down. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. Prescott on first down. Buying time to his left. He will go out right near the 35-yard line. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a first down.
That was an excellent job of recognizing the situation. His first read wasn't there. Heck, his second read wasn't there. But he bought himself a little extra time scrambling out of the pocket, got to the sticks, and picked up the first down.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. To throw is Prescott. And the Jags get to him as down he goes. K'Lavon Chaisson has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. Quick hitter here, it's complete. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
To Deon Cain. A gain of 6 yards. And it's third down.
Now Prescott. And this is going to be incomplete. Something we haven't really seen much of from him, an incomplete pass.
Yeah, last week he finished at 70%. This week he's up over 80%. I don't know how you slow him down. Pass rush is usually the best way, because a quarterback on his back usually can't complete a pass.
Jaguars 28, Cowboys 27.
So the scoring drive encompasses 9 plays, and the net result, 3 points.
Take your disappointment and put it aside. 9 plays. Yeah, they want to end up in the end zone with a touchdown. I get that. But sometimes those 9-play drives pay dividends later with another 9-play drive that culminates in a touchdown when they wear down a defense.
Here again comes the captain of this offense, leading his crew back out there now. And he's been good. 2 first-half touchdown passes, no interceptions so far.
Does a lot for your confidence. Does a great deal for your team, gives them a lead, and they're feeling really good about how they're playing. I think he expects to throw at least another one.
I was going to say, now he wants the first-half hat trick, doesn't he?
Oh, without a doubt. Go ahead and fling him on the field, folks. He wants that type of celebration.
The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. 2nd and 3. Hit from behind, and he's going to be driven down. Now the Jags will use the second of their timeouts as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. On 3rd down, Robinson. And he'll be brought down at the 28, and that is well short of the first. The Cowboys going to use their second timeout now as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. On now, Kaiser, the punter, sending it away. Call that 49 yards on the punt. They do get 7 back on the return. Dak and the Cowboys ready for their next possession. Been a decent start for him here in this first half, but bottom line, his team's losing. They got to fix something.
And it starts with him. He has to keep that little quarterback strut going right now to make sure this team sees him as confident. continue to try and up his game, but just let him know, hey, if I'm around, if I'm the one calling signal.
And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield. K'Lavon Chaisson in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
No doubt that's a very good play defensively right there, because you've always got to be aware that he can take off and make a big play with his legs. How about the way they were able to contain him? That also tells me the coverage was excellent downfield.
So after the sack, they'll come up on a still manageable 2nd and 13. They don't want to repeat a first down. They'll keep it on the ground. And this looks a lot like the last play. Behind the line of scrimmage, he's tackled for the 2nd straight go-around. Great job by this Jacksonville D. So we've reached halftime in a wild first half. We'll take a minute to catch our breath as we now go downstate to Orlando and check in with Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, time for a sprint to the finish, as it's time to get you caught up with what's happening around the NFL here in a pivotal Week 15. We'll begin in the AFC South. It's Indianapolis on the road at Tennessee. And it's the Titans on top as that one draws close to halftime. The Titans locked in a tight one, but this is a game you feel they've got to have. From there, we head down to sunny Miami to check on the Dolphins at home at Hard Rock Stadium. And they have the lead over the visiting New York Jets. The Dolphins looking to sew that one up, and they look to be in pretty good shape. Lastly, let's get you to MetLife Stadium to see what's happening with the Giants at home in East Rutherford. And they've got the lead over the visiting Houston Texans. Baker Mayfield with a touchdown pass. Meanwhile, in our game, no shortage of offense as each team has been able to move the ball effectively. Will the defenses show up in the second half? To find out, we give it back to our commentators, Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both these offenses have been in fine form. What will the second half bring us as we are underway in quarter 3?
The Jaguars take over 1st and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
Out come the Jaguars now as he'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the 3rd quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
See if they do just that. It's a first down, his 4th catch of the game after having 3 in the first half. From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. He'll take this from the 40 up to the 45 for a gain of 5.
Leighton Vander Esch on the tackle. It's a gain of 5.
2nd and 5.
2nd and 5.
This is the tight end, Njoku. And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 44-yard line.
1st and 10 at the 44-yard line.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43.
Taken down.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Brings up 2nd and 9.
They'll keep it on the ground. Robinson, and he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game. And while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
The first down line at the 34 here on 3rd down. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And that's caught by Smith. And he will have a Jaguars first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets, because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
On first down, it's Robinson. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29.
He's tackled at the 29-yard line. A gain of a yard brings up 2nd and 9.
They'll keep it on the ground. It's Robinson. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere.
Brought down right
now. Play number 8 on this drive, and they need 9 yards to pick up the first on 3rd. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. The tank, DeMarcus Lawrence with a sack. Boy, he came in off the edge so quickly there.
Look out, because that's exactly what it was being shouted by the offensive lineman to his quarterback, because he had no chance to block him.
So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here. They'll spot it at the 47, so call it a 57-yard attempt. And this is good from 57 yards out. That was bombs away right there.
31. Cowboys 27.
So as it turns out, that sack doesn't wind up costing them, Charles. They at least get points, get 3 of them.
Yeah, that's where your kicker can really come to your rescue, because you know after the sack there was a little consternation there. Are we out of field goal range? Are we going to be able to get 3? In this case, he stepped right up and gave them exactly what they needed.
The Cowboys offense now, they head out for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. Now this one complete downfield on the left side.
Complete to a Martin.
I see an extra defensive back on the field. Little surprise here on 3rd and 1.
It is 3rd down.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he will have a Cowboys first down. At least it would appear that way. He didn't get it by much, but yes, they do get the conversion on 3rd and 1.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? They looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Here's Prescott. Got an open man, the tight end, Jarwin.
Prescott.
And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. That one unable to develop, never got going. A loss of a couple, and it's 2nd down. Going to give this time to the tailback. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Maybe a gain of a yard that time, but now from the spot, actually no gain. So 3rd and long. And the Jags, Charles, I think they're in the dime here.
Covering a lot of field.
Out of the gun, here's Prescott. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he'll go down to the ground at the 39, and obviously that's well short of the first. 5 yards, not enough, and it'll be 4th down.
4th down.
Out now comes the Cowboys punter, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And did they keep it in? They did. They kept it in. It's down close to the goal line at the 1-yard line.
1-yard line.
Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. And we have seen a decline in the numbers. Where does the fault lie? Just him? Maybe the guys up front? Combination?
Well, as you and I both know, it's almost always a collective deal. But in this case, I think maybe the offensive line got a little overconfident. They had blocked so well in the first half, picked up on what the defense was doing. I think we've seen an adjustment now that they have not picked up on, and now they're being a little bit overwhelmed.
7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
It's a gain of 7.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. On the slant, this is Chark. 70th catch for him on the year, and like so many others, this goes for a first down. Now a give, right side. Robinson.
James Robinson.
Tackle there by Leighton Vander Esch.
Leighton Vander Esch on the tackle. 1-yard gain. Brings up 2nd and 9 at the 16-yard line.
2nd and 9 now. He's got Njoku, his big tight end. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
That's a gain of 7. Makes it 3rd and 2.
He's got his tight end, David Njoku. And he's able to get this one up to his 30 before he's out of bounds. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down. Connection made with Shenault. He's at the 40. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Big yardage after the catch. That one winds up going for 36. Big plays back and forth just continue. Both offenses excelling.
And I hear the excitement in your voice while you're calling this game. This hurts my soul as a defensive player, watching these teams go up and down the field and put points on the board.
Do me a favor the rest of the way. Sit back, relax, and just appreciate the offensive dominance that's going on out here.
I'll give it a shot.
They'll run on first down. Robinson, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Now back to throw. Sets up the screen to Robinson. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. 2 yards the loss there. Now 3rd and 14.
Time to give a little credit here. That was an excellent read by the guys on the defensive side of the ball.
Oh, you're crediting your defense.
Got to credit them on that one because they tried to fool them, right? Tried to trick them. Ran a screen, and they went to it and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
9th play of the drive coming up, and certainly not an easy one on 3rd and long. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
From a defensive perspective, they had exactly what you want anytime they want to throw the football. There was pressure on the quarterback. They were getting after him, and they tightened down on the receivers and forced the incompletion.
And his kick is good. Oh, he just did tuck it into the bottom of that left corner. And that'll make this a 7-point game.
27.
Well, they started that drive all the way back at the 1, able to march down, get 3.
It was daunting to begin with, wasn't it? But I thought overall, a very poised and efficient drive to get 3 points.
The Cowboys take over 1st and 10 at their own.
Now the Cowboys offense heads back onto the field and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. But despite the completion, they're going to wind up losing 3 there. 2nd down. Well, plays like that, Charles, no doubt, they're just going to continue to fuel this crowd.
And this defense is already playing well, but it also feeds on the energy of that crowd that you're talking about, and that takes them up to another level. Right now, they're playing really loose. They've got the lead, and what a nice stop they just made there behind the line of scrimmage.
On 2nd down, it's Pollard.
Tony Pollard, the Cowboy ball carrier.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
He'll fire deep downfield for Lamb.
You can try and underthrow it and go back shoulder, but your timing has to be impeccable. And here, I think it's much more of a duck than a designed back shoulder throw.
There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He's up over 100 yards, and he'll be looking to get in the end zone again.
Has a tremendous nose for it, doesn't he? The ability to pile up yardage and find the end zone, that's the combination you want in your runner.
That's a combination any coach wants, and we'll see if he can find that end zone once more. And the Cowboys' pressure gets there this time for the sack.
A big loss on the play. Brings up second down.
So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll take this up over the 40 to about the 41. He'll get 3, but it leaves him with a big hole here on 3rd and very long.
Brings up 3rd down.
He's going to drop this underneath for Robinson. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. That's going to bring up 4th down. Only a gain of 2 there.
Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands. Here's Drew Kaiser now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. This is the National Football League on EA Sports.
27.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. 15 yards on the play, 1st down.
15. 1st down, Dallas.
Prescott from the gun. Caught by the tight end Ertz.
Prescott's pass.
7 yards, the pickup there. Able to get 7 on that 1st down pass play. 2nd and 3.
2nd and 3 at the 41-yard line.
Prescott now. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete.
Prescott's pass.
And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. 4 yards, the pickup. 1st down.
Cowboys.
Prescott yet again. On the crossing route, he hits his man, Amari Cooper. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
Amari Cooper. It's a gain of 9. Brings up
to throw again on 2nd down. Prescott. He's going to flip one out here to his running back.
Prescott.
And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 36.
It's a gain of 10. And the Cowboy first down.
To the air again, Prescott. They'll drop this underneath to Pollard. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28.
Complete to Tony.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
2nd and 2 at the 28-yard line.
And again, it's Prescott. To the left side and complete for Amari Cooper. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 17-yard line.
On the play.
When the hitch route is run really well, that jab step off the line of scrimmage by the receiver, which is designed to back up the defender and give him a little bit of space, all you want there